Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we get into this video, I just want to say a few quick things. Number one being, thank you for 50 plus subscribers. I know that's not a huge feat, but you know, I started with 0 subscribers, put out a few videos, and now I'm at, I think, like 50 or 55 subscribers. So keep them coming. Thank you for that to all my wonderful 50 plus subscribers. Number two being, I spent a lot of time and effort on this car. I spent about a week on this car. Now, that was with, you know, other jobs coming in and, you know, other responsibilities I had to take care of, but I probably put in a good 3 to 4 full 10 plus hour days onto this car. I could have polished out this car once and it would have looked 20 times better, but when I got this idea for a YouTube video, and since this is a personal car, there's no time constraint, so I just decided to go all out on this detail. So I wound up doing a 3-stage paint correction. I took off the emblem and polished behind there. I cleaned the engine bay. I restored and coated all the trim. I reconditioned all the rubber seals and restored those as well. I polished and sealed out the glass and, you know, a bunch of other little things such as, you know, polishing out the exhaust tips and, you know, headlights, taillights, all the metal trim around the car, plus the interior and things of that nature. So I would appreciate it if you guys would share this video with your friends, share it on your Facebook, share it on your Instagram, tell your buddies. Subscribe and like this video and let me know down in the comments what you would like to see next. Without any further ado, let's get into the video. Welcome back everyone to another episode of KleenWerks Auto Detailing. My name is Mac. Today we're going to be working on a 1989 BMW 535i. We're just going to try to get it to look as best as we can. This car was bought as a winter beater. Now, it may look like a winter beater right now, but after we're done with it, it's going to look very close to showroom new. We're going to be performing a wash, decontamination, and paint correction, as well as some trim restoration on this car, and we're gonna try to get it top notch. Now, it will never be perfect. There are some repainted panels on the car. There are some dents, dings, and pretty deep scratches that, you know, detailing just can't get rid of. So we're gonna have to work around those. However, the car hasn't seen water in, I don't know, years. It has never been properly detailed. It has never seen a decontamination process in its entire life, and the car's over 30 years old. We'll see how good we can get the car to look. Let's take a walk around the car. Let me show you around. Here she is, guys. As I mentioned before, this is a 1989 BMW 535i, and this car is very near and dear to my heart because I actually used to have one of these. I actually had the same wheels as well, but mine was the V8 with a manual box. But anyway, let's just get to the inspection. Now, just look at this hood. I mean, there's spots everywhere. This car has been sitting outside. It was a project from the previous owner, and this car was purchased as a winter beater. So it hasn't seen water in a really long time. Everything's faded. Just look at the paint. The car is supposed to be black, okay? But it's blue. And as you guys can see right here and right here, I just kind of quickly polished it by hand on my driveway just to see how good the paint is like underneath. But you know, we'll actually get to the paint correction part and we'll actually see how it looks like. Yeah, hasn't been washed in a long time. It's got some moss growing in it. Every crack and crevice is just practically dirty. It's going to need a really good wash. For all you BMW fans out there, you guys know what these are. These are BBS original wheels. These are called Style 5s or RC090s as far as the part number goes, in case you're interested. they're not in too bad shape. I mean, the clear coat's peeling on these wheels, as you can see around there. We'll clean those up. Glass is in good shape. This car only has 92,000 miles, and for being 30 years old, I mean, it really isn't that bad. Yeah, just a lot of grime, a lot of dirt, just everything needs to be cleaned. We'll open up the jams. Car came with a bunch of parts, so those are just sitting in the back for now, once I can find a place to store these. All in all, the car's not bad. It's just incredibly dirty. Practically no rust on this car. Interior's not too bad. I mean, there are some things on each door panel like this where someone tried to glue the inserts back on. Got some grime up there. The leather is all cracked up, but there's practically no stains on any portions of the carpet, so that's a plus. Headliner's in pretty good shape. Sunroof, automatic windows, memory seats, heated seats. And this door has been repainted. I mean, you can just tell it doesn't match up really good. It was painted out of a spray can. That was the previous owner. So I'll see if I can wet sand that down. The front bumper has been resprayed, also out of a paint can, but just much more high quality and just a better painting process in general. But all the plastic trim is practically faded. We're gonna have to take care of those. Now the hood's pretty cool because it pops forward and it actually opens the other way. We're gonna blow all this out. We're gonna take all that out. The engine's really solid, super bulletproof, no leaks, no strange noises, no nothing. We'll actually clean up the engine bay as well. Also, if you guys hear a lot of wind, I apologize because it is kind of windy out today. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna start shooting a time lapse and you guys can just follow along with me. Stay tuned. Before we get into the actual detailing process of this video, I mentioned in the previous clip that this car is very special to me just because I used to have one. It was my first car. You guys will never forget your first car, especially if you're a car enthusiast. Now, whether it was something really nice or something as simple as a rusted out Civic, that car will always have a special place in your heart. And for me, that is the BMW E34. Now, I started driving on a 1994 BMW 530i. It was a 5-speed manual. Then it was swapped to a 540 engine, so it goes from a 3-liter V8 to a 4-liter V8. It was gray. It had a bunch of mods on it. Had a B&B exhaust. It had lowering springs. It had style 5s. It had a tuning chip in it, you know, a bunch of little things here and there. And then it started to get on in the years and it started to rust underneath the doors. So I then decided to purchase a 1995 BMW 540i automatic. Now, the reason for that is since this gray one was rusted, I could swap everything over to this clean white body. And this white one was super cheap because it had a blown automatic transmission, but I was gonna make it into a manual anyway. So I swapped everything over. It was a decently long process just because, you know, you have a job, you have responsibilities, things of that nature. You know, you just have to find the time to do it. But eventually it was finished. It looked mad good. I did a custom headliner in it, diamond print with a white stitching. It looked really, really good. I turned heads everywhere with that car. I sold it because I decided I need something a little bit more reliable, not necessarily because this E34 was unreliable, but because, you know, it was an old car. I needed something that I can drive across the country if I wanted to without any issues. So I decided to sell it. I miss that car very much to this day. Personally, I'm a 540 kind of guy, nothing against the M5, just because The 540 is a V8 and it sounds really, really good. Take a listen. So enough with the boring car talk. Let's get to the actual detailing part. the car is fully decontaminated. All iron deposits have been removed. It has been clay barred. We dried it off camera, blew out all the cracks and crevices. And basically, this is what we're working with. We can finally see the true nature of the paint. And the wash process and decontamination process revealed a bunch of stuff that needs attention. There's like a bunch of like adhesive residue right here. There's chips all over this hood. You know, pretty typical stuff for a 30-year-old car. Right here, it's actually pretty bad. There's a dent in the top of the hood. Actually, there's 3 dents in the top of the hood. A dent in the quarter panel, but all in all, I mean, it's not too bad. So now that we actually washed the car and decontaminated it, the rear door that's been painted very poorly actually kind of matches up now. So, or at least a lot better than it did. But basically, we got this to work with. I mean, the whole entire car looks like this. I mean, there's just swirls for days. Heavy water spots, things of that nature. But we'll take care of that. If you come around to the hood here, there's a better view. Yeah, there's like heavy deposits of just like hard water and bird drop etching and things like that. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this car is not going to be perfect. It will never be perfect. However, we'll get it looking as best as we can. Basically, the entire car looks exactly like this. Trunk, big flat piece, super swirled up, more deposits of some kind. We'll see what kind of polishes work best, and we'll show you guys the results. All right, so I forgot to hit record when I was doing this test spot, so I apologize, but figured out the best combo for this car and for this paint. This is single stage paint, so it's kind of finicky to work with. However, here at KleenWerks, I do a lot of vintage cars that have single stage paint, so it's all good. If you guys hear lawnmowers going on in the background, I do apologize. There's nothing I can do about that. So you guys might see a little bit of hazing going on. That's just the residue from the polish, and you're doing IPA wipe down. There are inferior paint conditions, like there's a lot of pitting. There's a lot of, you know, things like that, like super paint failure and things like that. But that's how it looks like versus this is how it used to look like. I mean, it's a pretty major difference if you ask me.
Right, yesterday, so I got my new car. I went and picked up this Dodge Challenger. It's the 392 Hemi Motor Scat Pack. Found one in indigo blue. It was difficult to find one with a 6-speed manual, but I went with that option. I used to have an old Infinity, but it's looking pretty good now. I don't know if you want to get the shifter or anything like that.
Super nice, bro.
Right off the lot, Alpine speakers on it. It's the only option. Yeah, really nice indigo blue color. Have to get it cleaned up by KleenWerks one of these days.
Brembo brakes. After a lot of elbow grease, time, and work, and products, this car looks very close to showroom new. As I mentioned before, and I'll say it again, this car will never be perfect. The only way to get it perfect is a basically brand new paint job. However, it looks pretty damn good compared to what it was. And now since I'm done, it's time to have my victory beer. Before we take you on a walk around the finished product, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, share this video with your friends, and let me know down in the comments if you guys like these longer videos. I was having this conversation with my girlfriend earlier, and I was debating whether to split up these longer videos in 2 parts. However, I personally hate split videos, but at the same time, that would allow me to get a lot more content out. So just let me know down in the comments if you like these long videos. If not, I'll make some changes. Those of you who stuck around to the end, I know you're waiting for the finished product. So let's take a walk around.